Hi, welcome to Nerdier Than Thou. I'm John.
And I'm Turner.
And we're here talking about that shit.
That you're just too much of a bitch to talk about in your real lives.
Because your reputation might be at line.
And that would be a shame. And we are recording to you live from a darkened room.
Surprise, surprise. No sun in here.
Hell no, nerds are allergic to that shit.
Exactly.
What is the question of the day?
It's a very, very simple question. And that question is, how much is too much?
Of that superhero movie shit.
Exactly. The film industry, TV industry, is just taking it a little too far.
I mean, I don't want to say that they're all shit, but I mean...
Let's be realistic, man. I dislike more of them than I like them.
Yeah. And it's just... There's just a lot going on. It's just with Marvel, and then as soon as Disney got Marvel, it just started pumping them out. So there's just a lot of it. We're all just being bombarded with it on a daily basis, and it's just like, fuck.
Exactly. I mean, just the other day, man, you were telling me that we were expecting like four movies.
Yeah, we had like 4 movies coming out this year. I think we had like 4 last year, and I mean, it's basically now that Warner Brothers is pumping out the DC movies, that is going to just increase.
Jesus
because
Christ.
I mean it's just part of it. It's just kind of it's all going. And I mean I'm starting to feel like somebody who's eating Oreos. Like that first one's like, fuck yeah, and then after a little while you're just like, fuck no, this is too much. I'm starting to get that kind of feeling here.
Well, it's obvious that each and every one of these companies that are pumping out Marvel and DC movies are just like freaking milking that money cow. I
mean, it started kind of when the second Disney bought Marvel. Well, I don't want to say that because I mean the Spider-Man movies with like Tobey Maguire, like those came out. I liked them. I thought they were great. I mean, they weren't like Spider-Man, but fuck you, it were good. Shit. What are you talking about? Willem Dafoe was awesome.
Willem Dafoe was the only good thing.
Willem Dafoe.
Whatever.
Not whatever. You're a fucking idiot.
He was the only good thing about those movies.
And wasn't James Franco in those?
He was.
Yeah.
He played.
Well, he hadn't evolved into his full James Franco form.
No, not yet. He was still a young James Franco.
He was still like level 3 James Franco.
Yeah.
That was,
no, but really, like, there's just. I guess I realized they were pumping out movies that much, but I guess I just didn't realize they were pumping out movies.
Well, it's because it came in slow, but I mean, after Disney got Marvel, then they started moving on with like, okay, here's Iron Man, and here's Captain America, and here's...
You know that fucking Thor is walking around Disneyland now?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Disney does that shit, where as soon as they buy something, and it's like, this is ours, ha 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 ha! Like that, ever have a Disney moment, and that guy's doing the Star Wars thing? I was fucking furious. I was like, this is not Disney. This is wrong.
Yep.
But, I mean, keeping it to this, yeah, of course Thor's walking around. It's their shit. They have the Iron Man exhibit.
Which, I mean, I heard is really cool.
No, it isn't. It's whatever. It's like in the Hall of Science or whatever the fuck, you gotta walk like a mile through a bunch of computers and shit you don't give a fuck about to see a bunch of Iron Man suits.
Oh, the invention area.
Yeah. Whatever I don't fucking know. It's like the most barren part of Disneyland.
It's the place you go to cool off.
Yeah,
that's all it's for.
It's like really right now, it's hot. Shade!
Same thing with Captain Neo, but hey, gotta love Captain Neo.
Fuck is Captain Neo?
George Lucas with Michael Jackson?
Oh. Yeah, I whatever.
Shut up.
Like, I'm sorry, I would go in there, oh shit, I got lost on my way to Space Mountain. I didn't, like, walk in there on purpose, usually.
I know.
But
I have.
But, I mean, it's just, once they did that, then you had DC coming in through Warner Brothers, and now Sony is putting out... the Spider-Man, and they're redoing those, and Fox has X-Men, and they've been pumping those out. And now you've got X-Men Days of Future Past, you have the latest Captain America, nobody shuts the fuck up about.
Well, they've already announced the next X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Apocalypse.
Well, something like that. I know that
which is said to be the last one.
Hugh Jackman said it would be his last film as Wolverine. He said that he doesn't want to do any more of those, which I can believe because it's been like 15 years of that shit. I don't blame
him.
Yeah.
I'd be over that shit too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think he's played a cool Wolverine. I think he's probably the only thing that was cool in X-Men.
I think he wants to cut his hair.
Probably.
Out of that fucking weird ass, like, double curl style.
Not even just that, but like, he's hairy all over.
Yeah, it's just kind of like maybe he wants to speak in his natural accent for once.
I could believe that.
As opposed
or
to,
he wants to head down south and get a bikini wax.
Yeah,
he's Brazilian.
He just puts Nair all over his body. It's just like, it's not stopping. I don't understand. This is the hair all over me.
It keeps growing.
So he attempts to sing,
No.
shitty Les Mis. God, that was awful. I mean, Les Mis is great, but I mean, he was fucking terrible at it.
I mean, real point of it all, like, out of all the movies, I think, like, Iron Man was cool.
I liked Iron Man 3 and 1, not the second one. Mickey Rourke is going like this and,
with his whips.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? He was probably just high as shit down there in South America. He didn't have any fucking idea. He was
flapping like a fucking bird.
He didn't even know he was in a movie.
Those whips were fucking cool, though.
He got his ass beat.
He got his ass
really
beat.
fast.
Yes. But the whips were cool.
I don't want to see the main villain of a movie get his ass beat in the first 5 seconds. They didn't do that shit with the Joker. I mean, yeah, he was weak as shit, but, like, they didn't, like, have him.
Yeah.
Like...
No, I get that, but, I mean, he gets better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's just so much superhero going on right now, and it's just kind of like, what do you look to? I mean, because at first it was like, oh, man, there's this one guy that we can look to, and now I'm starting to feel like somebody who's living in that world, and where I'm just kind of bored of it all. I'm just kind of getting, like, to the point where I can't stand it.
No, I feel the same way, and it's like, everywhere you turn, there's superheroes.
Yeah.
You see them. I mean, even on TV now.
Yeah, like, fucking, they put out Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they just got renewed for a second season.
I'll be honest, maybe it's good. Maybe it's good, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one show I just had no interest in.
I don't want to watch the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. It's like watching a spy movie in the superhero world.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
And what was it? I think we talked about, before, like, they had, like, cameos of these unknown...
Yeah, like these random superheroes, but, like, you're never going to see them in a movie. You're not going to really see them be anybody important. I mean, they're using guns. Why the fuck don't the people just melt them?
Exactly.
I'm a superhero. I spit on you and you explode, and so does half the city.
Yeah, but why people are interested in it, I'll never know.
Well, I get it, just in the sense that people they really like superheroes, but it's just that they're just trying to fill it with everything. You have Arrow.
Okay, Arrow, I did actually give a chance. I think you did too. You watched it with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool, it's got a little bit of action to it. I felt more of a drama aspect than anything.
I just kind of felt like it was a cheaper imitation of what they're trying to do in the movies. Like, basically, it was
exactly. It's just to keep that franchise,
yeah.
that money train rolling.
I feel like, those people that are just like, addicted to a drug, and you take like a lower dose just to keep yourself fucking going.
Dude, at the end of the day, Disney is consistently balls deep in anything that is producing money.
Well, yeah, that's just what they do. They just buy shit and they just shit. They just shit. They don't care as long as
it makes them money. Until it stops making them money, they'll stop.
Which sounds like a really good thing to do, when it comes to art and taking over shit I enjoy. Right? Yeah, it's about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, not to get to I'm not a fucking artiste here, but I'm like, fuck you guys. I mean, come on. I want something good, not something
stupid.
Yeah. I can only eat McDonald's so much, okay? Jesus Christ.
No, exactly. And I mean, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow are two perfectly good examples of how it's not just the movie industry, it's the TV industry.
Well, there was Heroes. You had Heroes.
Yes, you did have Heroes. I mean, Heroes was different for its time. That's before the big superhero bang.
It kind of felt to me like they were trying to rearrange the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff, where it was like normal people dealing with supernatural stuff and turning that into like normal people dealing with superheroes. It kind of felt like an X-Men-y kind of thing, or at least at the beginning.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. And I mean, speaking of that, I heard that's coming back.
What?
Heroes.
Yeah, no, they just I think they just said that they're going to reboot it, which is, it's got a lot of people really like, what the fuck? Some people are like the Heroes addicts, are like, yeah, but there's a lot of them that are just kind of like, fuck you. Because
I mean, yeah, everybody who's all fuck yeah is every freaking like younger nerd jerking off to pictures of Captain America is going to They show all of the people that were around at the time that Heroes was out is kind of like, well, okay.
I get tired of hearing about Captain America. I have people ask me all the time, have you seen fucking Captain America? Okay, well, then maybe they should just make a Captain America TV show. I mean, that I can kind of see.
I could see it, too.
You know, because it's like, he's basic. I mean, he used a gun. He uses a gun a lot of the time. Yeah, it's like, what the... Yeah,
he has a shield and his gun.
Yeah, well, seems like it would fit with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Because no pun intended.
I'm going to go and kill myself in the bathroom now. You can carry on without me.
No, but realistically, I mean, Captain America did a lot of shit. I mean, in the comic books and all that stuff. I mean, sure, when have they ever really stuck to the comic books? But where the comic books are concerned, they have a shit ton of material for Captain America.
Well, but you could argue almost, though, that you have a lot of material for almost any superhero.
I mean, you had Smallville as well.
Yeah,
we
Smallville.
Talk about Smallville.
Well, that was like an origins. Well, that's like there's a Gotham, this new TV show. It's basically like Smallville for Batman.
What?
Yeah, no, I think it's called Gotham. It's like this origin story for all of like the villains of Batman. Yeah,
I could get behind that if they do it right. It's the origins of the villains.
No, it's like all of them. It's like everybody. It's like I think it focuses on Bruce Wayne as a younger guy, kind of like coming up.
Yippee Skippy! His parents died. He got depressed. And he learned how to fight. He used his money to buy all these crazy ass gadgets. Yeah. And now he's a badass. The end.
Iron Man and Batman are like the perfect examples of you can buy your way into fame.
And it's a superhero.
Yeah, like, I have enough money to do this.
Yeah. Like, so I'm going to be a superhero.
Yeah, meanwhile, everybody else is just poor as fuck and just has to watch. Oh, look, there's Batman. You know, the guy that he's chasing just ran over me with his car. Can I get your autograph, Batman? Splayed out on the road. But it's like watching Gatsby. Funniest part of the movie, her face just spinning around. It's just I saw a trailer for it. It was like before the Joker, before the Riddler, and all this like
was it like a freaking teaser, like
something like that? It's basically the whole point is like he's gonna like interact with these people when they're all like younger and just starting out.
So he's going to be like the reason they went this way?
Maybe. I have no idea.
If you remember right, Bruce Wayne was a whiny bitch at first, so you know.
Oh, if I watch the movies, he's a whiny bitch too. I mean,
that's true.
There's no way around that.
But maybe they just whined. He whined to them too much.
Short tangent. You saw the Batman release photo for Bruce for what's his name, Ben Affleck.
I did.
Yeah.
It looked.
I don't know.
Interesting.
It's like, man, this looks cool, but it's kind of like...
Did you happen to catch the fact that the bat on his chest
is fat as fuck? It's like...
the fat bat.
Like, who the fuck picks that? Also, his horns were a little weird. They were a little short. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes. Yes, I did notice that.
I mean, it's not bad. He has a very comic book looky feel.
I mean, okay... Be realistic with me. Like, what do you think about the Superman versus Batman?
I think it's not Superman versus Batman. It's like a Justice League origin story. Like, that's what it's going to be.
I'm hearing a lot of people saying Superman versus Batman.
That was the proposed title that everybody was kind of like going with because they didn't know what they should call it.
But they have announced that it's going to be more of an origin story.
Well, Cyborg is going to be one of the main characters.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because since they did the DC reboot or whatever, Cyborg is now one of the original people, which I'm like totally behind. Teen Titans was the shit, okay? Granted, he's probably not going to look like that guy or act like him too much, but I don't give a fuck. He's like super cool.
He was the little black one, right?
Little black one? He's the giant black one.
Well, in the Teen Titans, he was the little black guy.
He was bigger than the rest of them. He was
but he was still a fucking teen.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was like a fucking don't talk shit on Cyborg, man. He was awesome. It's gonna be like a Justice League Origins thing. So I mean, they called it Superman versus Batman, but this is a stupid title. Nobody's gonna watch that shit. Nobody's stupid enough to put that out.
Yeah, that you need to stick something like that with, like, maybe a little freaking fan-made clip of freaking Batman versus...
I mean, I'll be in shock if Wonder Woman's in it, but, you know...
I think I heard they are going to redo Wonder Woman.
I heard that. I mean, because they thought that they were going to be doing, like, a movie for everybody, you know, that they were going to kind of do a... Like, like how Marvel did it, where it's like they did a movie for all of them, and then they had the Avengers. They thought they were going to do that, but then I think they, the normal standard women superhero is kind of hard to sell.
Well, I heard they were going to make a Black Widow movie.
I hear it's rumored, but I don't know. I feel like...
I know that Black Widow, they just put out her own comic.
I don't have...
I know Marvel rebooted them.
Marvel reboots shit every fucking day of the week. Jesus. Now that Disney owns it, fuck. I'll be surprised when we don't see the Avengers reboot next year. Age of Ultron, Avengers 1. Something like that.
Yay.
Yeah, I can't wait to, for them to ruin this. It's like listening to those songs on the radio where you just hear the same fucking song over and over.
And at first, you hear it, you're like, oh, this is kind of cool, it's kind of catchy. And then, like, a week later, you're like, please stop playing this.
Yeah, please stop playing it.
That's the same thing with any of the fucking films. It's like, once I see them, it's like, I legitimately have no interest in watching them again.
Well, it's like Thor 2. When I saw Thor 2... I thought, no, this was actually pretty okay. I liked how they showed Asgard and they showed a bunch of shit. But
Thor 1 was fucking trash.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was fucking trash. How the hell are you going to set up this phenomenal fight scene at the end with Thor and Loki? Everybody's like, fuck yeah, he's gonna go fight him, and Thor gets in a punch or two, and then I'm just gonna set Mjolnir on your chest and walk away. You have yourself a good rest of your day. It's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, Loki's like the younger sibling. He's upset, blah, 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 blah. But he's still a fucking god.
Fuck the Frost Giant. Kill Loki.
Seriously, why don't you just kill him?
Would have been funny at the end of it, like they draw and quarter Loki. They have him strapped to horses. It's like, by law, you have to be, what the fuck? I didn't do anything, father.
No Avengers.
Oh man,
yeah.
Don't say that shit. That's like a blasphemy in this fucking generation.
Yeah, people would fucking cry.
I'm not an Avengers fan. No, I was not a fan. It's just...
what it looked like to me was if either you really, really liked it or you really, really didn't.
They shoehorn... There's just I felt like I was watching an Iron Man movie. Oh, and here's some friends of Iron Man.
Oh, shit.
And that's all it was. It was just basically, that's...
the Avengers got caught in a quandary. Iron Man to the rescue.
Yeah. And fucking... Everybody loves Loki, and it's like, oh, Loki's the greatest thing ever. Loki.
Dude, So, he's not the greatest thing ever. People were more fucking attracted to it.
Joker versus Loki. I'm putting my money on the Joker.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I mean, the ones from those movies. Fuck, dude. He's gonna waste him. He's just gonna. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He's gonna send his dogs on him. So I don't care. He's gonna,
something along those lines. My money would be on the Joker all the fucking way.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got a couple more superhero movies that are actually coming out. We got that Superman and Batman. I have to say, I just recently read an article with, and this kind of made me a little nervous, but it's the directors.
I didn't know you could read.
Shut up. The directors from X-Men talking about a rumored Deadpool movie.
Oh,
that they're finally gonna do it after Ryan Reynolds.
What are you talking about?
Fucked it all up.
He was great.
No, he wasn't
amazing,
great,
wasn't he? Everyone loved Ryan Reynolds as
Ryan
Deadpool.
Reynolds.
Didn't you? You were telling me the other day that you loved Ryan Reynolds, weren't you? I think my nose is bleeding.
No, Ryan Reynolds, attitude-wise, could have pulled it off. He has that snippy, sarcastic attitude that he could have probably pulled off Deadpool. Everything else was wrong. He doesn't have Wolverine samurai swords shooting out of the stumps in his fucking hand. He doesn't have fucking laser vision. And guess what? There's a lot of fucking blood and he cusses. He doesn't just sit there, talks a little bit of shit, and pull out these fucking samurai fucking stump blades.
Well, wait a second. I think you might be confusing it because when he totally Deadpooled out, they fucking sewed his mouth shut.
Yes.
They made him into some realistic weird mutant thing. Which is kind of whatever the fuck.
And he had those stumps that shot out the fucking samurai swords.
That was later for him. In the original, when they're going to Vietnam and he's like, Jeremy got a new tattoo. I'm concerned. And it's like he was really funny as that. And then after that, as soon as they were done, then it got fucking dumb. So, I mean, he was fine in that one scene. And then the rest of it, he was
garbage.
Yeah. Well, they have another one coming. Gambit. Gambit
that was
movie.
actually going to be my next topic.
Channing Tatum. Tate him.
They're gonna have Channing Tatum do it.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Which at least I'm pretty sure I saw.
I think I could see that.
He's funny.
Yeah, no, he does well, and I mean, Gambit's pretty cool. You know, I feel like, you know, I noticed that Gambit is very highly underrated in my opinion.
Well, I mean, the problem is that it's a Marvel. You say it's underrated. I say that there are a shit ton of superheroes in Marvel, and they all have similar qualities. They all have some kind of mental or major serious flaw, which is good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I start to feel like they're all very here's their major mental fuck up that keeps them from being, whatever. But they're interesting. They're kind of like somewhere between really, really, really awesome, like godlike powers, and no
Shitty.
powers. Yeah, they have something to go off of. And Gambit just feels to me like another one of these guys where he's cool, but there are any number of people that you can find that are cool. And Gambit was in Wolverine.
He was, but he in my opinion, he wasn't that huge of a portion of it.
Well, none of them were. None of them were.
I know. Big. They introduced Gambit, yes, but I kind of wanted some more. When he came in, he was badass.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they actually took a movie to really focus on him, people could kind of see. Because I remember being a kid and seeing Gambit and being like, I love him. He is awesome. He is my favorite. He was.
I thought you watched My Little Pony when you were younger.
Yeah, with your mother.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you knew what superheroes were.
Shut up. But no, seriously, Gambit was my favorite. And I'm kind of stoked that they're doing that. As I've gotten older, Deadpool, I love Deadpool. And I really hope that it's not just a rumor. I really hope.
Well, everybody wants... Yeah, rumor like the fucking Firefly reboot. Hold your fucking breath.
I don't know, man. They're rebooting everything else.
No, not that. It's I feel like Deadpool's going to be like the endless joke where it's like, all right, maybe it's in the works now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, here it comes now. I'm just fucking with you. Is Disney going to put out a movie like that?
I mean, it depends on who gets their hands on it. It's the directors of X-Men, dude.
It's the directors of X-Men, but I'm pretty sure Deadpool is a Marvel product. Marvel is owned by Disney. No, X-Men is, while Marvel, X-Men is specifically owned by Fox. Fox owns the rights to them. It's a weird cut. I know, it's fucking crazy.
Well, that was before, they did have the ownership of it before Disney got their hands on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a really good point.
So they would have to make a deal on that.
Well, you know what? Seeing as how X-Men Origins with Wolverine had Deadpool, maybe they own the rights to Deadpool.
It could. Also, I heard that they referenced Magneto's children in the new Captain America movie.
We were talking about that. That could mean that Fox and Disney cut some kind of deal.
Some kind of let's make money. And
AKA one of them cut a check. And the
other one cashed it. And it's that looks a little low. Add a zero. Good.
That works. That works for me.
So I mean, it's. I don't know. It just kind of feels to me like it's going to be one of those where they're, putting their dick in your mouth a little bit, and they're like, yeah, you want this? And then they just, I'm just kidding, you're never going to get it. This is all about me, not you.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But I mean, if they actually stick to it, I think there will be a lot of happy fans. I think a lot of, but they have to do it right.
But it comes down to money. I mean, it doesn't matter. You say, oh, they'll make happy fans. I say they're making a shitload of money making movies that kind of suck.
And I don't get it.
I get it. It's money. Also,
no, I just don't get why
stupid.
People are so stupid.
Because, hey, it was cool, and also Loki's really attractive or something, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with this is being generous. 75% of girls who like superhero movies don't like the superheroes themselves. They like the way they look. Any girl is more than welcome to prove me wrong.
Are you fucking kidding me? Thor takes his shirt off. You better put a wet floor sign down in that fucking theater.
No shit.
That place is just dripping. Yeah.
No. It's true. But like I said, I won't waste my time with Thor.
Yeah, I just don't. Well, I mean, it's kind of like all of those movies. So and especially when they put a lot of them into a big group. That's kind of what the trend is now, where you have a lot of these superheroes. But I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at when you have all these superhero teams now.
Comes the honest question of teams versus individuals.
Yeah, I don't know which one is better. Because it's like, what they're doing now is they're just trying to build them. They're just trying to build, here's a movie, here's a movie, here's a movie, and it leads into this really big movie, and then they do repeat the process.
Yes, and that's really their money-making trend. And I mean, now DC's doing it because there's talks of Justice League. And,
yeah.
I am more than willing to believe that that's going to happen, seeing as how the newest Superman is going to be incorporating Batman.
Well, it's...
And like you said earlier, you even said
Cyborg
is going to be a big character in it.
Yeah, so I don't know really what they're going to do, but I mean, it just kind of brings about a problem because if everybody's doing that. The new Spider-Man's talking about the Sinister Six, the villains, and that's what they're trying to bring in there. And X-Men, it's already a giant superhero team as it is. So you continue with this trend, and all of a sudden you've got 4 big superhero teams running around, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be watching. So you have 6 superhero movies each, and then a fucking team, and suddenly you have 24 movies, and I'm sitting here getting diarrhea because I've had way too much.
Yeah.
And there's blood, and it's uncomfortable, and I just need it to stop.
No, I agree. It's just, it goes, regardless of whether you prefer teams or individuals, it's kind of like, well, they're both getting old. Both of them are getting old.
Yeah, because there's just...
I'll be really, I mean, I am curious about Justice League. I can't lie, but I think it doesn't matter who you are, regardless of how you feel, how much is too much, but,
Well, I want a Justice League. I would prefer... Because I'm more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel, so, I mean, I don't care. And, everybody said, the last Superman movie was shitty. And, they said it was basically like that season of Dragon Ball Z where they fought the Frieza saga. But then again, I fucking love Dragon Ball Z and Frieza saga, so I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
But yeah, I watched it. I dug it.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, cinematography-wise, the movie was bitchin'.
Look, the dialogue was weird, but Zod...
was dope.
I will find him as he gets frozen in time.
Yeah,
the
intensity. I think everybody really brought it to the table in that movie, and I mean, it was
except for Amy Adams.
Fuck her. So that's what you get. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole other subject.
Fuck it, I don't even care.
But realistically, I mean, cinematography was great. Action, it was great. Story, I enjoyed it. I personally thought it was cool. And, General Zod did a phenomenal job.
I mean, when they continue on with the Justice League...
What's that actor's name? He was Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, he's Boardwalk... I don't know his name. I know him from Boardwalk Empire, though. He's fucking great in that show. So that's part of why I really like the movie, is because I really like the actor.
Yeah.
But it's, that movie will be coming out probably right around the time that Age of Ultron comes out. The Avengers movie. And it's... I'm pretty sure the Avengers movie is going to, dominate. Yeah, it might even be better, but I feel it's just because DC's coming in second. Everybody's going to be looking at it like there's too much, and people are going to just figure out here that there's too much going on.
But on top of all of that, there's also the underlying paranoia of Ben Affleck picking up the freaking cape and the bat suit.
I honestly don't think that Christian Bale was that great at it.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings. I thought there were portions of it that he did really well, and then I felt there were portions that could have been better.
Like,
honestly, I thought, I have to say, probably the worst Batman movie, but the coolest, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, not Batman. George Clooney. I gotta go with George Clooney. I thought George Clooney was a great Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. No, because Clooney knew how to match it, except for all the stupid puns, She has great stems, though. They're talking about poison ivy.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Is that how they wanted to do that? That movie was shitty.
Cute. That's really cute.
That movie was a special kind of movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger is fucking Mr. Freeze. I killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! It's like for no fucking reason he just says that.
He had to make some kind of a reference.
Chill! Chill!
Some icy cold reference.
That fucker was our governor for 8 fucking years. Chill! That asshole.
The governor.
I wish he'd have gone up in that fucking Dr. Freeze suit on that day.
Everybody's going to vote for me.
My breasts are so tender.
It's my pecs.
This is my ferret. I keep him in my butthole.
God. But, I definitely, I'm going to give Ben Affleck the benefit of the doubt. Because
he was...
Think about it, man. It was the same kind of reaction when all you fuckers found out about Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
When you found out about Heath Ledger's going to be the Joker, but freaking Brokeback Mountain, really?
Maybe people were just worried that the role might kill him. No, I mean, like, yeah, I wouldn't mean that as a joke as much as like, oh man, it's going to be really stressful on you.
The only person that legitimately went up to him was Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson now has Alzheimer's. Let's
not talk about that.
I can only think about the fact that it's fucking the Joker that,
it's
a delayed effect.
Cursed role. It's a cursed role.
Oh, I hope he's in this one. I can't wait to see who goes out this time. Maybe it'll be Kirsten Stewart. That's the Joker. Die, bitch. Die. I want you to go crazy. I'm going
to give him the benefit of the doubt until that movie comes out.
He's great. In Argo, The Town.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. He's a great...
I don't see why everyone is flipping a bitch.
Also, he'll be a great Bruce Wayne. Fucking Christian Bale was a shitty Bruce Wayne. Rachel! All the time. All he did was bitch about Rachel, okay? By the time I saw Maggie Gyllenhaal up there, I was like, that is not Katie Holmes. I don't know who this is. Maybe they put her in a microwave or something and she inflated a little bit. But,
no.
This needs to be fixed. And, yeah, so I mean, and that's, when she died, I was like, grumpy cat, good.
Yeah, no shit. It's like zero fucks were given that day.
Yeah, and then they just like got rid of her and replaced her with Catwoman, and that was like,
that was easy.
Yeah, I was like, man, you got over that pretty good. Hey, here's an acrobatic chick with a criminal past. God, I like them when they're hot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I feel like it all kind of detracts a little bit from the point of like what superheroes are. Because of the fact that there's so much. They're supposed to be saving the world from this big thing. So, like, the whole thing is like, when the Joker's there and they stop the Joker, he was going to fuck up the whole city. Yep. And they stopped him. But then you just keep going with more movies, and it kind of starts to feel like, well, how were we stopping these people before these guys showed up?
No shit. It's like suddenly, wait, okay, we have a superhero. Go figure, the super villain population just
skyrocketed. Like, yeah, they weren't here before.
Go figure. Yeah. Maybe it's his fault.
It is his fault.
It is.
Things are worse than ever. Those are lines in Batman. Actually, that's why the second Batman movie is the best. Because, yeah, they point out, things are worse now than they ever were before, and it's his fucking fault if we just get rid of him. But these new movies won't have that feel. They don't do that.
They won't.
X-Men touched on it a little bit with like the Mutant Registration Acts and shit like that, where they were that's what they're always trying to do. Because
it kind of, and that makes it even darker, dude. That that touches on segregation history.
Well, no, in X-Men, the very first movie, they reference the Holocaust all the time. The first opening scene is Magneto like in the Holocaust, being taken away and moving the gate and being carried out by the Nazis, and he keeps looking at his number, and he's like, I will not let this happen again, and now it's...
Which, I respected his message.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean, I don't necessarily support the exterminate people that aren't mutants thing.
Yeah, that was a little much, don't get me wrong.
Well, his original plan was to turn them all into mutants. His original plan was to turn all of the humans into mutants, and then his next plan was then to kill all the humans. So, I mean... Make
up your mind, bro. Yeah, what do you want?
Please don't kill me. I didn't do nothing wrong. Except I did throw rocks at that mutant kid today, but fuck him. He's ugly and weird.
Yeah, he looks weird.
I mean, it's perfectly legitimate.
But I know they're coming out with X-Men Apocalypse, or is it Armageddon? It's one of the two.
Yeah, whatever. They literally mean the same thing.
Yeah, but for the love of everything in this world, let it be the last X-Men.
Wolverine sucked. This last one?
Yeah. Yes, wow. Yes, it did.
It takes place after X-Men 3, and there are no fucking mutants in sight. The bad guy's not a mutant. The bad girl is a mutant, and in theory, the girl he's running around with is a mutant. But they're dealing with, like, the Japanese mafia. Are you telling me that the Japanese mafia, of all people, doesn't have a use for mutants? That they only have people running around with guns on top of trains?
No kid. No, seriously, if they get some mutants on your payroll, bro, you guys will skyrocket.
Yeah, you guys are going to be, how the fuck did you guys take over Japan with mutants around? Like that's part of the whole problem is that the mutants are just better than you.
It's exactly the problem, but then they're like, we don't want them.
Well, I guess, I shouldn't necessarily use X-Men 3 as my reference for that, when Magneto's deciding to, hey, we got to go stop the cure. So I'm going to pick up the bridge. And instead of dropping the bridge on Alcatraz, I'm just going to use the bridge to send my army to it. You deal with that? You pick up the bridge, you drop it, you pick it back up, you drop it again, and you just keep doing this until the cure is gone.
Hey, that was a lot of work.
It didn't look like a lot of work.
He picked up a fucking bridge.
And he didn't break a sweat. He was just like, fuck it. Whatever. He's like, here we go. And it's up in the air. But I mean,
we also have these offset films that have come out. You have the Kick-Ass 1 and Kick-Ass 2.
Well, it's like different things, which I would argue were better.
I would too.
Because when these superhero movies started coming out in like big ways, that was when they decided that they wanted to do The Incredibles.
Yes.
Like that was like the first one, and the whole thing in The Incredibles was just that it was an animated movie where superheroes they banned them. Because people were just tired of them. And it was just...
It was too many.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of it. And it was a parody. And you had things like The Watchmen. The Watchmen later. Where it's like, yeah...
That was more of an intense... It was way intense.
And it's based on a comic. But it's like... It's a reaction to superheroes being good people. Which Marvel was for a while. Marvel used to be that. Where it was like... Okay, DC has Superman and Batman, these people that are holier than thou, uncorruptible. So Marvel comes in and brings you people like the Hulk. Literally, if he gets frustrated, he kills 10 people.
Yep.
And that's just what he does. But then it got like a little bastardized and everything got kind of weird. So the Watchmen just like presents you this awful future of like people that were just tired of the crime, put on a mask, and they went out to deal with it.
Exactly.
And then there were like some other superhero people that got involved. Like, fucking the comedian, he uses guns. He opens fire into a crowd. Like, later in a shot, you see that he's holding, it looks like a beanbag gun, but it isn't. Because he's holding a different gun. He, like, was using a shotgun and shooting into a crowd of people. He killed JFK.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. Dude, I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, he kills JFK. And, like, that's the whole point. It's that superheroes can fuck up the world. Because of superheroes... the world is almost destroyed in the 80s. That's the whole point of the movie. And that's the idea. And, Kick-Ass, it's another reaction to all these movies. It's just like, there's a lot of depth in it. That guy that's the Batman parody, Big Daddy, I think.
Big Daddy, yeah.
Yeah. He gets killed in that movie, doesn't he? Yeah. They, like, burn him to death.
Yep.
And it's because, hey, asshole with, like, no real powers, you are ruining crime.
Stop it!
Yeah, so I'm going to show you what happens when you fuck with my crime.
The kind of yes, Kick-Ass was definitely a parody, but it kind of the thing I did like about it was it had the dynamic of the superheroes that they're humans, they're human beings. They get fucked in the wrong situation, they're going to die.
That little kid, like in the first part, he's getting his ass beat by those fucking people that are
Which
just
was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's just kind of like a reaction to it. Hancock was another movie where it was about that. Well, okay, I'm only going to acknowledge the first half of Hancock.
Yeah, good part.
Yeah, it's like, it's you smell like alcohol. That's because I've been drinking, bitch. He stops the train from running over that truck, and it destroys the train and spills like oil all over shit and stuff.
And he's just like, meh.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. And that's, the rest of the movie is fucking terrible, but but I mean, these movies are reactions. That's what they are. They're reactions to the massive amount of superhero fervor, and you're going to see more of them.
Yeah. I think they're going to make a Kick-Ass 3.
What was that movie with Dwight where he was the guy holding just a fucking pipe? I want to say it was like superheroes. It was something.
Mystery Men?
No. I don't think it was that. It was he just like dressed up as a superhero and he was attacking villains or something that he declared were villains, and all he had was like a fucking lead pipe. or something. He was beating the fuck out of people.
I don't remember, man.
Oh man, it's fucking funny. It's on Netflix. You got to see it. I can't think of its title right now, but God, it's
was
just
it Hobo with a Shotgun?
no.
That now you want a fucking superhero?
Hobo
Hobo with a shotgun is a fucking hero.
That was the one where he got inside that. She's like, "This is my second car. You better not damage it." He's like, "This is only your second car. This is a real fucking tragedy." You know? Yeah.
That movie was great.
Fuck yeah. That's what a superhero movie is about.
Yes, hobos taking it upon themselves to help the
Falling Down. That's my favorite superhero movie with Michael Douglas, where he just gets fired from his job and picks up an Uzi and just says fuck it. Goes into a McDonald's and it's like they hand him a burger that looks like shit and he starts shooting into the ceiling and he's like, "Get me a tasty burger." Something that looks like that picture. That's what superhero movies should be, man.
I agree.
Normal people. I don't want to see a fucking like a costume with a mask where they have to fight this immensely powerful person. That was what made Batman the second one so fucking cool. Is that the Joker did nothing that any normal person couldn't do. Bane climbed out of some big ass fucking hole and had a weird mask and he's buffer than I could ever possibly dream of.
You know what? I liked Bane. A lot of people didn't, but a lot of people really did.
Tell me, can you relate to Bane? He's from a secret society, super buff, has a crazed mentality, and has an army of followers, and has all that stuff. You can't relate to the League of Shadows. The Joker told you his story. My wife had a gambling problem, and they cut her face. So I cut my face, she left me, and I'm obviously schizophrenic. You know, I'm going to make this pencil disappear. You know?
Great scene.
Exactly. It's like these were normal people. That's what I thought was so cool about the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. He was a normal guy. Well, yeah, he was just a normal guy, drunk fucker, whatever. He was just a face. But, you know, they find out where Iron Man lives. They travel 3 helicopters over to him. They just blow up his fucking house and nearly kill him.
Done.
Yeah, and it's just like, I appreciate it when they actually give me somebody that's relatable. Not something that...
You know what? I do totally agree. And, you know, just to really quickly kind of jump real fast real quick. But, you know, yeah, Bane isn't very relatable. He was more of a... That dude is fucking cool.
Yeah.
But, and, you know, that's all he kind of was. And, you know, I personally am a fan of Tom Hardy. You know, I like him.
Yeah.
So, you know, seeing him get that part, you know, kind of skyrocket his career a bit, that was cool for him. I was really happy to hear that.
He was Inception. For that.
I know, but he blew up.
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody wanted Tom Hardy.
What are you talking about, man? He got really famous after Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah.
Remember how he was the bad guy in Star Trek Nemesis?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy was the bad guy in Star Trek Nemesis.
Remember that.
That's a stain that just won't wash out. Maybe that's why he's so buff now, because he doesn't look like he did back then.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, so I mean, just, you know, to kind of like get to a get to an overarching point here, like, how much is too much of these fucking superheroes?
I honestly, I think there's already been too much. That's me personally. I mean, I could sit here and I could talk about what I really, really liked and what I really, really didn't like, and, you know, like I said, there's a lot more dislike than there is to like. I
mean, they're generally solid movies. But they pick up famous people for the sake of famous people. Anthony Hopkins is into the Thor movies. And I thought he's great playing that part. But the Thor movies are just kind of whatever. The first Captain America was shitty. And every now and again you get like side projects, like Green Lantern. You know, that movie was a real piece of shit. You want to talk about Ryan Reynolds, talk about that.
It's like, what are you doing,
bro?
What
the fuck happened?
What are you doing? You okay, if anybody important is listening, ban Ryan Reynolds from being a superhero.
Forever.
Or else he's fucked up twice.
He's gonna ruin the greatest superheroes. Green Lantern and Deadpool are some of the best fucking superheroes.
Absolutely.
And he fucked up both.
Both of them. And I'm just... Ryan Reynolds, you disgust me.
Fuck you. Go back to Waiting.
No shit.
Hey, he was great in that movie.
No, he was. But I mean, realistically though, man, like, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say we can kind of both agree that there is way too much.
And it's going to die off. I swear. That's what's going to happen. We are going to...
Well, shit, dude. When Star Wars comes out, it's going to be like superheroes. What?
All I'm going to compare it to is like Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean was Disney's bread and butter, and Pirates were this just shit, and they were pumping them out. And then as soon as they picked up Marvel and other shit started becoming popular, you haven't heard about Pirates 5. You haven't heard about that in a long time.
It's happening, though.
It's still kind of barely in the works.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's going to do that, where people just don't really care anymore.
They're probably sitting on it, dude. They're probably sitting on it for a little bit, and then once, Marvel starts to lose a little bit of its steam, it's fucking Pirates 5! And everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah!
They're just going to stick to Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I mean, superheroes, we're running their course. They might... I kind of honestly hope that they're going to get to Age of Ultron and call it quits. I hope that's what they'll do. They won't.
No, they won't.
I don't mind the DC people as much just because they are newer, different people. I mean, Batman doesn't quite get as old as seeing Iron Man for the 50th time, in my opinion. And I've only had one decent Superman movie since...
but on top of, where Batman's concerned, Batman has a lot of really cool villains that they still have to touch on.
I mean, everybody else has villains that you've never heard of. I have no fucking idea who the bad guy is in the last 2 Spider-Man movies. Okay? Lizard.
The Lizard Man?
Yeah.
You've never heard of him?
Well, I mean, by comparison to the Riddler, you know,
yeah,
and that's what I mean. There are Lex Luthor. These are people that you had just know.
Yeah, they're huge.
And the fucking Electro Man, what's his name? The guy in I don't fucking remember his name. I just saw it and I can't remember it. But yeah, he's not super big.
Nope,
they're not big, and that's part of it. So Iron Man. You didn't know who any of the bad guys were in those movies. You didn't know who any of the bad guys were in Captain America and the Thor movies. You had never heard of them.
Well, Red Skull.
Red Skull, okay. But also Captain America's a lot older.
That's true.
And that's part of where it just comes down to they are using stuff that you've never heard of, whereas DC does have stuff you've heard of.
And it's stuff we've been hearing about for years. Forever.
So
since most of us in this generation it was before we were even born.
And X-Men was cool when it was like anyone can be a superhero. That was the point of it. Anyone can be a superhero and they have normal people problems. And that's all it is. But now it's like they were that, and now you have their specific team that has to stop everything.
Who's overpowered.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, well, fuck, So, I mean, the superheroes, we're kind of past it. We've gone too far. It's time to take a step back and get back to our roots, like Mickey Mouse and no, fucking.
No, but yeah.
If I hear about Frozen one more fucking time, I'm gonna shoot some little kids or something. I can't stand this shit.
Yeah, me neither, dude. It's done. It's done.
I blame Disney.
I blame Disney. As well.
Disney does this. They just continue it too much. And they give us too much of this shit, and they spoon feed it to you, and they tell you that you like it. They're the McDonald's of entertainment. You go to them because you think that it's easy and it's good and it's going to make you happy, and it just doesn't. There's no depth, there's no flavor, there's just calories and diarrhea.
Once again with the diarrhea.
I don't like Disney. It gives me diarrhea.
No,
except for
I
Toy
agree.
Story 3. That gave me constipation. When they were going down, when they were going to that furnace, tears.
Jesus. No, but man,
Disney.
I agree. I agree. The age of superheroes in the movies are just it's coming to an end, and I really hope
someone acknowledges that we saw it first.
No shit. I really, really do. This is honestly, I think this has been a pretty good topic. I mean, I feel like there's a lot that could be covered, but I feel like we covered a lot.
I feel like the people appreciate it. Don't you?
You
don't you? You appreciate that we've talked about this for you.
But speaking of the people, we hope you guys have been enjoying what we've been doing. If you have, please go to facebook.com/nerdierthanthou and give the page a like. Share it with your friends. That'd be cool,
Keep weekly updates and all this other crap, and we'll keep giving you the fun shit that you want to hear.
And that's all the time we have. My name's John.
I'm Turner.
And this has been
Nerdier Than Thou.